Hey guys, if you're someone who has been looking for the marking scheme for Cambridge IGCSE, paper code 0580 for maths, paper 3 core, for major 24, for the third variant, then you're in the right place. We're going to go through the entire exam and see which questions were easier, which were difficult, and how you can save time, score well on this. So let's go. Question 1 says 40 football players vote on the color of new shirts. The results for red, yellow, and green are shown in the bar chart. Twice as many football players vote blue than vote orange. Complete the bar chart. So if 2x is for blue, then x is for orange. And we have a total of 40 football players. So that means 40 equals to 11, which is for this, 6 for yellow, and 8 for green. So 11 plus 6 plus 8. For blue, it's 2x, and for orange, it's x. So plus 2x plus x. So that's going to be 40 minus 11 minus 8 minus 6 equals to 3x, which is 15. Then 15 divided by 3, and that equals to 5 for x. So orange is 5 and blue is 10. So if we draw the bar chart, this is for blue and this is for orange. And it says write down the mode. So mode is basically going to be your highest frequency. As you can see, red is 11, which is the highest. 10 was blue, which is next. And then we had green. So mode is going to be red, which is your highest frequency. Part B says 40 hockey players vote on the color of new shirts. The table shows the results. We have to complete the pie chart. So to complete the pie chart, we need the angles. So total players are 40. So to find the angle for white, we'll do 21, which is the frequency of players who wear white, divided by the total hockey players, which is 40. And then we multiply this fraction by 360, which is the angle of the pie chart, like the total angle. So that gives us 189 degrees. Then for gray, it's going to be 12 over 40 times 360, which is going to give us the angle of 108. And lastly, for pink, that's going to be 7 over 40 times 360, which is going to give us 63 degrees. So these are the three angles. Using your protractor, you'll draw the angles on the pie chart and you'll have your answer. Since I'm doing this online, it's going to be slightly difficult to make the pie chart, but it's very simple. You're going to put your protractor over here in the center. You'll draw one of the angles. You can start with white, gray, or pink, and then mark it. So white is going to be somewhere over here. Then 63 is going to be somewhere here, and this is going to be your gray. Once again, this is the rough one. So please use a protractor, draw it. Don't just assume, because I know some kids assume like where the question would be, like I'm right now. But then again, I can't draw this properly without the protractor over here. So once again, pink over here, gray over here, and white over here. Do label your angles. Do label the sections where it's pink, where it's gray, and where it's white. It says work out the percentage of hockey players who vote gray. So those who vote gray will be 12 over 40 times 100 now. In the previous case, we multiplied by 360 because we needed the angle to make the pie chart. Now they're asking for the percentage. So we multiply the fraction by 100. So that equals to 30%. Next question says, here's part of the timetable for buses from the station to the city center. All buses take the same time to travel from the station to the city center. Complete the timetable. So let's see how long it takes for this train, just starting at 9:24 and reaching city center at 10:03. It's from 9:24 to 10:03. 9:24 to 10 is 36 minutes. So 10 to 10:03 is 3 minutes. So total is going to be 39 minutes. So now we add 39 to 11:06. Just going to give us 11:45. So that's when the train will reach at city center. Beth walks 4 kilometers from her home to the station at a speed of 6 kilometers per hour. She wants to travel on the 9:24 bus. Work out the latest time she can leave her home. So first we're going to find the time that Beth takes while she's walking to the station. So time is going to be distance over speed, which is basically 4/6. That gives us 0.6 recurring hours. So we're going to convert the 0.6 into minutes. So in minutes, it's going to be 0.6 recurring times 60, which gives us 40 minutes. So 40 minutes to walk from home to the station. If we subtract 40 minutes from 9:24, that gives us 8:44. That's the time at which she should leave at the latest. "45 seats on the bus are occupied. This is 3/5 the total number of seats on the bus. Work out the total number of seats on the bus. So to figure out the total number of seats on the bus, what we're going to do is, we know that 45 seats are occupied. So 45 over x is the total number of seats, is the same as 3/5. 45 are occupied, x are total. And they say that 45 seats is basically 3/5 of the total number of seats. So this is that. So x is going to be 45 times 5/3. That gives us 75. Then it says Beth buys 2.4 kgs of onions costing $1.25 per kilogram and 4.5 kilograms of potatoes. The total cost is $11.64. Find the cost of 1 kg of potatoes. So what we're going to do over here, we know that 11.64 is the total cost. So 11.64 equals to, Beth buys 2.4 kgs of onions, which cost 1.25. So multiply the weight with the cost for per kg. And for potatoes, that's 4.5 times x, but we don't know the cost of 1 kg of potato. So 11.64 equals to 3 plus 4.5x. 11.64 minus 3, which gives us 8.64. And then we divide 8.64 by 4.5, which is going to give us $1.2. That is the cost of 1 kg of potatoes. Part C says, one day 140 people enter a shop. The ratio adults to children is 3:2. Is 3:2. Find the number of adults who enter the shop. So that's going to be 3/5. 3 is the quantity for adults in the ratio, and 5 is the sum of the values in the ratio. So always write the sum in the denominator and the quantity that you're talking about in the numerator. And then we times that by the total number of people, which is 140. So now this is going to give us $84. Then it says the price of television in this shop is $624. 37.5% of this price is profit. Calculate the profit on this television. Let's find the profit. We find 37.5% of 624, which is going to be $234. And this is what your profit is. Simple. This is the price of phone in this shop is $420. The price increases by 12%. Calculate the new price. So if the price is increasing by 12%, you can easily multiply 420 by 112%. Why 112? Because 420 is the 100% price of the phone. This 100% is increased by 12%. So instead of finding 12% separately and then adding that to the original price, which is also an alternative method, which would be 420 plus 12% of 420. You can just directly find 112% of 420. That's going to be the same thing. So this is going to be $470.4, and this is also going to be $470.4. Both ways are correct. Choose the one that you find to be easier. Question 3 says the grid shows a trapezium. On the grid, draw an enlargement of the trapezium with scale factor of 3. So if you have a scale factor of 3, that means all the sides are going to increase by 3 times. So if we look at the original shape, this length is 2, and this length is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that means 2 times 3 will become 6, and 6 times 3 will become 18. And this length, the height, that will also be 2 times 3, which is 6. So let's start with the base first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, then for the height, that's 6. Over here, since it's 1 unit over, it's going to be 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is this, and this is our complete shape. Yeah. Because if we look at the distance over for this part, it's 3. And for this part, it's 9, increased by 3 again. This is 1, so this is going to be 3. So increase all the parts of the shape by 3. Connect your points and there's your enlarged shape. Part B says right arm shows 4 triangles A, B, C, and D, and a point P on a grid. Write on the coordinates of P. So if you look over here, this is P. So X is 4 and Y is 3. Simple. Always remember coordinates are ordered pairs. So always write the X value first and the Y value second. So 4, 3. Then says describe fully the single transformation that maps triangle T onto triangle A. So triangle T onto triangle A is a reflection. And the reflection is in the Y equals to -1 line. The reflection is in the X equals to -1 line. This. Why? Because if you notice, this point is 3 units from this line, and the same point on T is 3 units from the X equals to -1 line. Which means X equals to -1 line is acting as the mirror line over here. So X equals to -1. So the transformation is that it's a reflection in the x equals to -1 line. Then part B says triangle T onto triangle B. T onto B is the translation. So to find the vector of the translation, pick corresponding points on both the shapes. This is 4, 1, and this over here is 7 and -4. So to transform 4, 1 into 7 and -4, to the x coordinate, we're adding 3, and to the y, we are subtracting 5. So it's a translation by a vector of 3, -5. By a vector 3, -5. Then it says triangle T onto triangle C. So T onto C is a rotation. And the rotation is a 180 degrees, and the center is 0. Next question says, write on the value of the 8 in the number 39829. So 8 is 8 hundredths. Write on all the factors of 18. That's 9 times 2. That's 9, 2, 6, 3, 18, and 1. These are all of your factors. Then it says show that 57 is not a prime number. So there's a trick to see whether a number is a prime number or not. What you do is you can add the digits, especially if the number is an odd number. So 5 plus 7 is 12. And we know 12 is a number that's divisible by 2, 3, and 4, and 6. So that means if we divide 57 by 3, that is going to give us 19. Because 9 times 3 is, because 19 times 3 is 57. So this shows that 57 is not a prime number. If it was not divisible by any other number, then it would have been a prime number. But since 57 is divisible by 3 and 19, so not a prime. And also remember, always if it's an even number, you can easily just divide it by 2 and 4, you know that. But with odd numbers, just add the digits. And if the sum of the digits is a number that comes in the 3 times table, then it's not a prime number. And it's also divisible by 3. Part D says square root of x equals to 64. Find the value of x. So to get rid of the square root, we will square both sides, which means x is 64 square, which is basically equal to 4096. Let's just find the first multiple of 40 that is greater than 620. So that is 60. What you do is you divide 620 by 40. And that basically gives us 15.5. So a multiple that's greater than 620, just go with 16. So 40 times 16, that's 640. 40 times 17 would be 680. Now that is a multiple that's greater than 620, but that's not the first multiple that is greater than 620. Hence, 16 is your answer. Let's just find the reciprocal of 2 or 3. In reciprocal, you always swap your numerator with the denominator. Don't change the sign, just swap the numerator and denominator. So that's going to be 3 over 2. Let's just find a fraction between 1 over 5 and 1 over 4. So let's add 1 over 5 and 1 over 4 first, which is going to be 4 plus 5 over 20. That's 9 over 20. Now, fraction between them, so that means we have to divide this by 2 now, because halfway through. So that's 9 over 20 times 1 over 2, and that is 9 over 40. That is your fraction that is between 105 and 104. Then it says write an irrational number with a value between 9 and 10. So somewhere between 9 and 10, that's going to be square root of 90. Now, why square root of 90? 9 is basically square root of 81. And 10 is square root of 100. Basically, what we need is somewhere between square root of 81 and square root of 100. So between square root of 81 and square root of 100, we don't have any square numbers. So you can pick any irrational number. It can be 95, 93, 92. So I chose 90, square root of 90, because square root of 90 is going to be an irrational number. Next question says find the highest common factor of 72 and 180. 72, 180. 72 is 9 times 8, just 3 times 3 and 4 times 2. 4 is again 2 times 2. These are prime factors. And for 180, it's 18 times 10. That is 9 times 2. That is 5 times 2. 9 is 3 times 3. So as you can see, 9 is common and 4 is common. So 3, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 2. So 9 times 4, 36. 36 is your highest common factor. Question 5 says measure the angle K. So you'll use a protractor and measure the angle K. What you can do is you can just measure this angle over here and then subtract that value from 360. That would give you K. Mathematical name of K is reflex angle. Why reflex? Because reflex angles are angles that are greater than 180. Obtuse angles are angles that are greater than 90. And reflex and acute angles are angles that are less than 90. The diagram shows a pair of parallel lines in a straight line. Angles A, B, C, and D. Angles A, B, C, D, and X are labeled. Complete the statements. Angle blank is alternate. Angle blank is alternate to angle X. So that's C. C and X are alternate angles. Angle dash is corresponding to angle X. That's going to be D. X and D are corresponding angles. And since diagram shows a parallelogram, find the value of Y. So in a parallelogram or in parallel lines, interior angles add up to 180. So Y is 180 minus 42, which is basically equal to 138. That is your answer. Part D says A, B, and C lie on a circle center O. Find angle ACB. ACB. So since AC is passing to the center and is touching the circumference, that means it's the diameter. So an angle coming out of the diameter is always right angle. So B is 90. So ACB is going to be 180 minus 90 minus 17, which is basically equal to 73 degrees. The interior angle of a regular polygon is 171. Work out the number of sides of this polygon. So interior angle has the formula of n minus 2 times 180 divided by n. So interior angle is given as 171. Cross multiply. 171n equals to n minus 2 times 180. Expand the bracket. So that's 180n minus 360. 171n minus 180n equals to negative 360, which is going to give us negative 9n. Cancel out the negative signs. N equals to 360 over 9, which is the same as 40. So this regular polygon has 40 sides. Then the question asking us to calculate the value of x. X is an angle and we have a right angle triangle over here. X is an angle and they're given us a right angle triangle. So what we'll do is we'll see which of the lengths are given. Do we have the opposite? Do we have the adjacent? Do we have the hypotenuse? Hypotenuse is always your diagonal. Opposite is the length which is opposite to the angle. So that's the opposite. And adjacent is the length on which the angle lies. So as you can see, we have the opposite and the hypotenuse, which means we'll use sine theta. So sine theta is 7.4 over 18.5. And replace the theta with x. So x is going to be sine inverse of this fraction. And that is going to give us 23.58 degrees. That is your answer. Question 6 and 4 teams are given points using the formula. Number of points equals to number of wins times 4 plus number of draws times 2 plus bonus points. One team has 15 wins, 7 draws, and 6 bonus points. Calculate the total number of points for this team. So let's just substitute the values. Number of wins 15 times 4 plus number of draws 7 times 2 plus bonus, which is 6. So that is going to give us the answer of 80. Number of points are 80 for this team. Then it says solve x over 2 equals to 18. Cross multiply. X equals to 18 times 2, which is 36. Always remember when you have a fraction on one side and a fraction on the other side, or like a whole number on the other side, cross multiply to get rid of the fraction and then you solve it. Then it says solve 4x plus 12 equals to 18. First, we take 12 to the other side. So that's going to give us 6. Then x equals to 6 over 4, which can be simplified to 3 by 2. Then it says expand and simplify. So we begin with expanding the brackets. 6 gets multiplied to 3x and negative 4, and 5 to x and negative 2. So 6 times 3x plus 6 times negative 4 plus 5 times x plus 5 times negative 2. That's 18x minus 24 plus 5x minus 10. Collect the like terms. 18x plus 5x is 23x. Negative 24 minus 10 is negative 34. So 23x minus 34 is your answer. Then next part says t equals to 5r minus 6. Make r the subject of the formula. So begin with taking 6 to the other side. So t plus 6 equals to 5r. Then we get rid of the 5, so that's going to be t plus 6 over 5 equals to r. Whatever function the term is performing on the original side, it does the opposite on the other side. So as you can see, 6 was being subtracted first. On the other side, it's being added. 5 was being multiplied to r. On the other side, it's dividing. So r is t plus 6 over 5. Next part says that Bo has a green bag and a blue bag. Each bag contains some marbles. The green bag has X marbles. There are 5 times as many marbles in the blue bag than the green bag. So that's 5x. Bo now adds 6 marbles to each bag. There are now 4 times as many marbles in the blue bag than in the green bag. So if you're adding 6 to each bag, x plus 6 and 5x plus 6, there are now 4 times as many blue marbles than the green bag. So that's going to be 4 times x plus 6 for blue because green is now x plus 6. This is the new amount. So use this information to write an equation, solve it to find the bag effects. So after Bo has added 6 marbles to each bag, which made it 5x plus 6 and x plus 6, he's now saying that there are now 4 times as many marbles in the blue bag than the green bag. So that means 4 times of green marbles, which is x plus 6, equals to 5x plus 6. So that's going to be 4x plus 24 equals to 5x plus 6. Then 24 minus 6 equals to 5x minus 4x, which is going to be 18 equals to x. That is your answer. Question 7 says, Lee spins a first 6-sided spinner numbered 1 to 6. On the probability scale, draw an arrow to show the probability that the spinner lands on the number 2. So the probability of the spinner landing on number 2 is going to be 1 over 6. So since there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 divisions, 1 over 6 is going to be over here. Then find the probability that the spinner lands on a prime number. So prime numbers are going to be 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. We have 3 prime numbers. So 3 over 6, which is 1 over 2. Find the probability that the spinner lands on the number 7. That's 0. Why? Because there is no 7 on the first 6-sided spinner. There are only 6 sides, and the numbers are from 1 to 6. Then it says a bag contains 3 red balls and 12 green balls. Lee picks a ball at random. Find the probability that it is a green ball, giving your answer as a fraction in its simplest form. So green ball is going to be 12 over 15. So that's 4 over 5. Why is it 12 over 15? Because there are 12 green balls and total are going to be 3 plus 12. So 12 over 15. Next one says Lee spins 2 fair 4-sided spinners, each numbered 1 to 4. The 2 numbers are multiplied to give the score. Find the probability of the score as an even number. So even numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have 12 even numbers. And total values were 16. So 12 over 16, that is 3 over 4. Then says find the probability that the score is an integer. That's going to be 1. Because all of these numbers are integers. Every whole number is an integer, so the probability is going to be 1, then at least 10. So at least 10 means it's going to be this, this, this. At least 10 means that it cannot be less than 10. So all of these values are less than 10. And only these 3 values are greater than 10, so that's 3 over 16. Part D says a bag contains red discs and blue discs. The probability that a disc picked at random is red is 1 over 5. Lee picks a disc at random, notes its color, and then replaces it in the bag. She then picks another disc at random. Complete the diagram. The probability of picking a red disc is 1 over 5. Blue is going to be 4 over 5. And all of these are going to be the same because she is replacing the disc. The probability is not going to change. Then says work out the probability that both the discs she picks are blue. So for blue, we're going to go from here to here. That means it's going to be 4 over 5 times 4 over 5. Why is it 4 over 5 times 4 over 5? Because when we're going along the branches, it's multiplication. When you're going across the branches, it's addition. So that's 16 over 25, and that is your probability. Question 8, it says find the area of the trapezium. So they've given the parallel sides and the height. Area is going to be 1 over 2 times the height, which is 5.4, times the sum of parallel sides, which is 8.2 plus 12.6. And that is going to give us the answer of 56.16 centimeters squared. Part B says the area of the triangle is 15.3 centimeters squared. They've given us the height, we have to find the base. Simple. Area equals to 1 over 2 times the base times the height, which is 4.5. And this equals to 15.3. So 4.5 divided by 2 times the base. So we multiply 15.3 with 2 and then divide it by 4.5. And that gives us 6.8 centimeters as the value of B. Then it says a circle has a circumference of 58.6 centimeters. Find the radius of the circle. So circumference has the formula of 2 pi r. 58.6 equals to 2 pi r. 58.6 divided by 2 pi. And that gives us the value of the radius, which is 9.33 centimeters. Part D says diagram shows a rectangle with two semicircles removed. Calculate the shaded area. So first, let's find the area of the rectangle. It's going to be 28 times 12. And that's going to give us 336 centimeters square. When we find area of a circle, the reason why I'm doing area of circle instead of two semicircles is because it's the same semicircle. And when you join it together, it's going to make a full circle. So just directly do area of circle, pi r squared. R is half of 12, which is 6. So pi times 6 squared. And that gives us 113.097 centimeters square. So now shaded area is the difference of these two areas. It is going to be 336 minus 113.097, which is going to be 222.9 centimeters square. That is your shaded area. Question 9 says line L has a gradient of 4 and passes through the point 0.03. Write down the position of the line L in the form of y equals to mx plus c. So 0.3 is your y-intercept. And this is your gradient. So m gradient and c is the y-intercept. So y equals to 4x plus 3. That's your answer. Y-intercept is 3, gradient is 4. Just substitute the values and that's it. No calculation. Line G has the equation y equals to 2 minus 6x. Line G passes to the point A5. Find the value of A. So just substitute the coordinates in the line. Y would be 5 and x would be A. So 5 equals 2 minus 6a. 5 minus 2 equals to negative 6a. 3 equals to negative 6a. 3 over negative 6 equals to a. So negative 1 over 2 is a. That is your answer. Part C says complete the table of values for y equals to x squared minus 6. So you just substitute the x value in the equation. Y is negative 3 squared minus 6. That's going to give us 3. Y is 0 squared minus 6. That's going to give us negative 6. And y is 3 squared minus 6. And that's going to give us 3 again. So as you can see, they're all symmetrical at x equals to 0 because the y values are exactly the same. Now we have to sketch the graph on the grid. So negative 4 and 10 is over here. Negative 3 and 3 is over here. The negative 2 and negative 2 is over here. Negative 1 and negative 5 over here. When we have 0, negative 6. Then 1, negative 5. 2, negative 2. 3, 3. And negative 4. So this is okay. It is asking to write down the equation, the line of symmetry of the graph, which is x equals to 0. And says use a graph to solve the equation x squared minus 6 equals to 0. X squared minus 6 equals to 0. So originally, the equation is y equals to x squared minus 6. So which means you have to draw a line at y equals to 0. Y equals to 0 is our this line over here, the x-axis. So on the x-axis, we have this point and this point. So that's negative 2.8. And these are the two values I'm getting for x. X equals to negative 2.8 and 2.4. We go back to the question, it says for x greater than 0. So that's going to be just 2.4, not negative 2.8. And that's your answer.